Right, good evening everybody. Welcome to the third part of our Chaos Lord. Hope you have enjoyed it so far. And all the little things in between. Like me spilling paint on my pants. I actually saved the pants. They did not get stained. I mean, it was a lot of wash. But tip for all of you, if you spill wash on your pants, straight away to water as fast as you fucking can, and then you will get the wash off. Because the wash is so wet and diluted, so you can get it off real quick. So real happy about that. Never experienced wash on my pants before, but now I know. So that's awesome that I could save those, because I am not in the mood to buy new pants. Hello Plasma Pudding and JLDK. How are you doing today? And also I forgot to show you guys the marine I started working on. And I have some... you can't see really much. I have only started with the legs on this guy. But I'm having fun so far with the model. The light settings for the camera is a bit dark for this one. They are more set up for the Chaos Lord. But so I'm making a sort of a Dark Templar. I'm going to paint a little mark here, and this pad here is not done, as you can see, and the top body is not done. I had to experiment a lot with the green blues for the highlights and the shininess of the armor. I made a mistake and did all the damage for just this first part of the leg, and I had to rework them all when I discovered that another paint was better than the previous one I used. So, but I hope it will be good. No airbrush on this marine. Only like you can see, I don't know if you can see on the helmet, but the helmet have a little bit of incubi darkness on it, but that's the only airbrush I've done, and it doesn't help anything with the light effects, so that's done entirely by brush. So I can do things by brush as well. You know, I use the airbrush a lot, but that's to not make the tutorials or the painting sessions too long for you guys, because it tends to be quite boring when we cannot see a end result of a miniature. We will have a Gilliman all over again, and it's not finished yet. I have nothing planned this weekend, so I shall try and finish the Mr. Gilliman. Work's going pretty steady at the moment, so that's good. I will be up to my schedule again at the end of this month, I hope. It depends. So finally, well, yeah, here's our little Chaos Lord. Let's see, I think I forgot one little thing with the camera settings though. Hold on a moment. That's what I thought. There we go. Now you can see that a bit better. Yes. Right, we were painting the arm yesterday, so we will continue painting the arm. The compressor is turned on, so if that starts, you know what it is. So put our palette here. Moving my way for a second. And let's continue with the skin on the arm. So I remember we used the old rose. And where's that green paint? I haven't put the paints back, but of course I have mixed them. Where's the... I need light flash as well. Oh, there it is. Alright, so we're gonna mix the green and the old rose. Don't need much paint. this time. And then we're gonna do some light flash. This was actually kind of relaxing to start a little miniature project of my own. It's actually a metal space marine, and the details on that guy, it's a old Vanguard, the one with the double-handed sword. I really like double-handed swords. I am very emotionally attached to two-handed swords. Can imagine the first time I saw Berserk, I was amazed by Gut swinging his sword. Yeah. Anyway, but the details on that metal marine is not so easy as it is on the plastic ones. I think I got a not so good copy either, since I bought it from eBay. I think the previous owner of the model saw that the cast was not the best, so he sold it. Fortunately. No, not so that it bothers me not to paint it, but yeah, could have been better. I realized that. But yeah. So we just do as we did before yesterday. We pull the skin towards the middle. From the greens. It's a lot of flesh on it this time, so there will not be much green left to show. I don't really know what it is. I know it's some kind of face, but it doesn't matter as long as it's looking fleshy and disgusting. It's fine. So I've been thinking about purchasing some busts to paint in the stream. I was talking about it in like February or something like that. Got a tip from one of you guys that I should get some busts to paint in the stream. So I will see what kind of bust I will purchase on the internet. It's easier to show painting techniques on bigger things in the stream as well, since we haven't I'm still saving up for that new camera that I'm talking about. We're not gonna see the new camera for some time, but it will eventually happen, of course. But it's not the worst pictures I get with this camera so far, so it works for now once you learn to handle it. I'm not gonna get so much sleep tonight since caffeine, but coffee is so damn good. How many of you guys are coffee addicts? I drink at least 3 cups a day when I'm working. Days I'm not working, I can go without coffee entirely if I forget it. But when I'm working, I like to drink it. We all have our little addictions. Caffee's good. It's good. The real kicker is when the light flesh comes on and the details starting to develop for real. The work before that is just basics. Light flesh is one of my favorite paints to use when I paint flesh. I use it along with the scale paints as well when I'm painting flesh with those. The scale paints I do not like to use on small surfaces of flesh though, since they are very transparent and do not dry as quick, so you cannot be painting fast with those paints. And I need to paint fast sometimes, mostly in the streams, so I won't bore the hell out of you guys. Okay, that's the skin. Awesome. Maybe we should put you over here. I have also yes, I do have new Patreon plans since my schedule is starting to clear up, so I don't have too much work to do all the time, so I can focus more on editing the past videos I have, so I can upload those on YouTube. And then Patreon, I will probably, I have some plans on writing down what colors I use, and doing some little bit of some other videos for Patreon as well, more like non-stream videos, and probably editing stream videos so they will be easier to watch, since there's a bunch of nonsense sometimes, like me spilling paints on my pants. But yeah, but there's a tons of things I can do with Patreon. I saw that a lot of guys that have Patreon have raffles that people can join in and be a part of a random lottery each month, when the guy who owns the Patreon gives away one of his miniatures. So for example, if I had a raffle this month, I would give away this model to one lucky winner, and of course the raffle gets harder as the bigger it gets, for sure. And it would require an amount of money being put in, so it would be worth it. Since you can imagine giving away like $200 models. This is not a $200 model, but if there would be, and it would be only $10 in the pot, that would be, yeah, not so fun for the amount of work then. But yeah, that would be fun to do, to give away a model each month. And maybe some private Skype lessons and stuff like that. Q&As. Where I can show privately with the brush on on a Skype conversation in a camera. But moving on, I have tried tea, plasma pudding, but I never got to enjoy it as much as the regular tea drinkers do. I can drink a lot of it when I'm drunk. Then it's good. But otherwise, I prefer coffee. But I can drink tea. There's no problem to drink tea. If I ever would move to Britain, I would probably still drink coffee, but perhaps have a little bit more tea. Let's have some brandy with the tea, huh? No, I cannot. I had a whole bottle this morning. I am quite drunk. I cannot walk. So we're just gonna highlight the metal with some chrome from the airbrush range. And that's going to be enough. It's not that much metal, so we don't need to overwork it this time. I'm feeling more comfortable, by the way, with the stream, so yeah, that was what I was going to show. I'm thinking of doing a stream of painting one of these guys, the little plague bearer ones. Got 10 models from way back, so I can show some flesh only tutorial, because it's not much details on those guys, mostly just flesh and corruption, so that could be quite fun. We have the glow, and then we need to paint the bone parts and the eye of the little demon head. Irish coffee is the best. It depends. I'm not so much for alcohols anymore. I had my rough days with that, so focusing more on being sober. But that was a long time ago, back in college. You know, there's a lot of drinking in college. What am I looking for again? That's right, bone colors. Bone colors. Where are they? So the burnt umber and the where's the khaki? There it is. And the silver grey. There we go. Now we get the paints. Now this needs a good shake before I use it. And also, I'm planning on having Chris on the stream. I just have to train him a little bit in English before I have him on the stream. So I don't know what he will paint. He will choose a model of his own that he's going to paint. But I would be fun. He doesn't like showing his face, so I will probably be in the little screen instead and asking me questions about painting and such for your guys' enjoyment. So that could be a fun thing. And maybe if that goes well, I can invite some other painters in the future. Yeah, if they want to share their painting, of course. But yeah, I think that could be a fun thing. To get some interesting people in the stream as well, like paint and talk show. Not so much teeth on this one. good. Well, aren't teachers supposed to be sober? I don't get it. Is it such a hard job that you have to drink? Becoming a teacher is very hard though. 5 years of school, man, that's rough. A lot of my friends back in college were studying to be a teacher. But the teacher people were the only ones who wanted to party and have a good time in college. I went computer graphics, and it was just me and one other guy that we were the two that used to go out on the weekends. We of course had the worst grades in school as well, but some people had as bad grades as we did, and they weren't out. So I was curious what they were doing, because they weren't drunk, that's for sure. But I don't want you guys to think of me as an alcoholic or anything. I just were in different times in my life, doing other things. I didn't do much with the education that I got. I thought painting was funnier. When I quit the school, I called up my buddy Chris and asked him if he wanted to start painting together. So we did that instead. And I haven't changed my mind yet. Yeah, everybody's drunk when the summer is coming. There's so much barbecue and beer and good company. Man, this paint won't shake. I'm going to paint a lot this summer though, but I am going to take some vacations. But I have a big dark yellow project coming up, and I got a deadline for it, so that's why I've been working so hard, so I can relax and paint that army without having the pressure of limited time. Alright, there are some eyes on the gun as well. But it's great to live in Sweden when the summer is coming, because you know you had a rough winter. Well, not this winter, it was hot as hell, I think. But usually you have a rough winter and the weather is shit. Then the summer comes and you're like the happiest person ever, because there is sun and there is good weather and there is mostly not too hot, but last week was too hot, I think. But yeah. Just enjoy yourself in the summer. That's right, we need our little park green flat. It's a new paint that I got. Quite liking it. It's like a brighter version of Snot Green from Games Workshop. The old paints from Games Workshop. Since Games Workshop paints were the first I used when I started this little journey as a kid, they are burnt into my memory forever. So I can probably, if I see them, name quite a few of them. They were once upon a time I could name them all, but I don't think I can do that anymore since I haven't practiced any naming of them. But I could actually name a few of them. I still got a copy of our Scorch Brown left in stock, and some Desert Yellow, and I don't remember which paint it was. It was the khaki paint that I also got. So I got a few paints left from Games Workshop. Games Workshop's old range of paints. They were quite good, but having a little of everything is nice as well. Let's see here. We need some ice yellow on that. Then we're gonna start up the airbrush to make some glow on the plasma pistol. Could do it by hand though. It takes too much time. It's the same procedure as I did on the what was it called? The alternative cipher model that I painted. His eyes were painted with thin down paints. So there we have that one and that one. Maybe we should use the aged white for this one. Need to order some more aged white. Alright, that's not the right paint. We're not gonna airbrush it blue. What paint do we use? I forgot. Hold on. Was it this one? I think it was. Must have been. Okay. Start with some olive green for a base. It's not showing much. The olive green is quite transparent. Oh, by the way, speaking of your assassin, I tried to click your link yesterday, but I couldn't see the picture. The link was broken or something. For the Brood Horror. I clicked it after the stream. So I completely forgot during. Is it the Metal Assassin, or do they have a newer version of that model? Oh, by the way, there is a, if any of you guys are interested, god damn it, wait a minute, I just have to wait for that stupid thing to stop making noise. There is a painting competition next month. Same day as the 40k is released at an event in, I think it was Lund, here in Sweden. If any of you guys are interested in competing. My buddy Chris is going to be the judge there for that painting competition. It's a 40k tournament there as well. I think they will play 7th edition, ironically, at the day 8th edition is released. But I didn't know that back then when they set the date. Yeah, that's a cool little glow there for the plasma pistol. I can share a link on my Facebook page for the competition after the stream. I have to remind myself on that, so you guys can click that afterwards. Remind me at the end of the stream if you're thinking about going. Right, so the plasma gun is finished. Now we have a little bit of fur there. Fuck. Bad language. I don't care. Every damn time. I have to shake these pins so fucking hard. This is just useless. This piece of fur we have here. I wouldn't have guessed it if I haven't been used to these sick amount of details. It's not even that good. Same technique as yesterday, mixing the paints on the fur. So we can attach this since the paints won't dry for some time. Right, gonna do some covering here once attached. Right, starting to come together. We can paint the parts between the armor black. It's irritating to see it not painted at the moment. There we go. Alright, starting to come together. Too bad it wasn't metal. The failed cast is not so good when it comes to previous metal models. The new failed casts are that haven't been metal before are kind of good, not the best. I heard that Slambo was I think you told me, Plasma Pudding, that Slambo was very decent for the fine cast situation. So we have a little sword to do. Time for the fun part. I hope it will be fun at least. So I'm thinking about making this some corrupt flesh here on the sword. So we'll first paint out the details all over the sword, and then we will do the flesh last. So it's gonna be like bent metal or something. Yeah, it's a very detailed sword. Got a lot of souls in it. Anyone watched Nightmare on Elm Street? It reminds me of Freddy Krueger with all his souls on his body. It's pretty cool. He's like the version before Lucius the Eternal. The beta version or something. Paints for the sword. So we want it to be kind of rusty. How do we go about that? Well, we can start with a base of decayed metal. So here, it's kind of. Do I cover the light? Yes, I do. Let's do it like that. Can see it better now, I think. Let's see here if we can. I don't know how much of the back will be visible, but I won't take any chances. We can go here as well. Oh shit. Just waiting for this to dry. The hair here that it's got is going to be red. Nothing too fancy, just red. And the handle is probably going to be some orange brown paint that will fit somewhat to the model. And yeah, of course then we have the backpack. There are metal, flesh and bone to paint on this one, so not too much. It will be the last thing we do. Right, we'll wait for that to dry. Just gonna check. Alright, so yeah. Have you tried yet? No, of course I haven't. Let's see, what kind of paints do we use though? We can use the oily steel. I think we used the natural steel yesterday. The oil seal will look better this time. Oh shit. It vomits out the paint. And a little hint of the gunmetal blue. Since this will be a more of a corrupt sword. I can see everything. But wait a minute, I turn around this palette thing here. Here we have our metal. Let's see here. Get more glaze. Because when you're gonna make something look rusty, it has to look good before you do it. You cannot start from shit to shit. You have to make gold to shit. Oh, that's right, the little undried part there. Well, I can blend you in then. Some of the decayed metal into the paint. This is a really tricky sword. Got a lot of different areas everywhere. It's kind of shit. I think it will be darker as we move further down. So now we need to make our first glaze with some reddish paint. Some hull red from model color. So this is not a wash. It might seem like a wash, but it isn't. You might imagine that he has plunged his sword into many bodies in his career as a Chaos Lord. in some metal in here. Right, that's the start. I'm gonna add some more to it very soon. This just needs to dry. In the meantime, well, I'm sure he does. That was a surprise that somebody would write that. I actually know a guy named Martin. I am a little bit sure you're talking about the same one. Yeah, that brood horror looks very, very nasty. I really like that model. Nice pink flesh you got on it as well. Real nice. Do they still sell that model on Forge World? Thank you, Badgie Studio. Glad you like it. Oh, really? Well, it's very detailed, and not all details are very fun on it, but it's definitely worth painting. I would actually say it's got its fun parts. It also depends on what color scheme you are giving it, but yeah, you can paint in Nurgle and follow my tutorial if you want. I should maybe I should buy it and paint it someday. Cause the brood horror is it's a big rat. Big rat. I like rats. Except for when they are in my house. I do not really like killing living things, but sometimes you have to smash a rat with a mouse trap or a rat trap, so they won't go through your stuff. Since I live in a house, that happens sometimes. Oh, it isn't. It looks good on their on the picture I've seen on it. What's bad about it? Is it the details, or is it like rough surfaces, or a lot of holes in it, or maybe all of them? Man, why is the sword so dark? I don't get it. Why can't you light the sword up? Maybe the paints are just too dark for the stream. Alright. I think we got some, yeah. There's the brighter metal. So let's start with highlighting that first. Let's see if we can make some sense of this. So essentially just highlighting and highlight layering different parts of the metal. You have to be really creative when it's so much shit going on. All right. Start of it. I think the back is gonna be a bit darker, so we leave that. Now we're gonna do another layer of paint on this. Gonna paint some with the orange rust from the Vallejo Air. We're gonna glaze it down. We can put some of the red into it, not much, because it's a very strong paint. We're not glazing the entire sword with this, just covering some parts. Be a little more disgusting feel to it. It is a plague sword, we can call this. Alright, yeah, it looks kind of neat. Okay. Now, when this is have dried, we're going to glaze big parts with black, so we get a overall shadow with all the paints to blend them together. But that's easy work. That's nothing. I was afraid that the details were going to be bad. Black Legion is not boring. Black is a very creative paint if you go nuts. So no shame in going Black Legion. Yeah, I'm probably gonna build a large base for my rat. I made a Vermin Lord in the past that I converted. That was a pretty awesome project. Pretty fun. Let's use our hairdryer a little bit. Maybe I'm thinking about going a little bit more intense with the rust though. So, oh, this is too bright. I can get a little bold crimson in there. Not too much of this though. Let's see here. Just to add to the rust effect a bit more. So on its different little places. I'm actually thinking about now when I'm looking at it, skipping the fleshy parts and just fill in the faces with the rust instead. That also makes a pretty cool effect. But I can still paint some flesh up here, so we won't be totally out of it. Let's use the hairdryer once more. It turned out to a kind of cool sword. Don't know how much you can see on the screen though. It's very hard to show these small parts. That's what I wanted to get a better camera for. Let's start painting the black. I got some black paint here since before. And we put a little bit of metal in the black. Not much, just a little tinsy wincy bit. To get some of the pigments going. And it's gonna be really thin, as you can see here. Really thin. And then we start pulling it down. Get some dramatic shade effects. Right, and let's do one last revisit of the chrome. And let's add some glaze to that. So add little demon eyes to the faces. Maybe I'm ruining the sword with a lot of different colors. Nah. Alright, let's paint the flesh. It's getting hot from the lights. Let's have some bronze with that. I'm starting to get a small amount of space on my palette. There's always a little water drop on my brush. I really shouldn't be holding the sword with my fingers. I should actually hold it like this. Shit, I forgot to paint the bronze here as well. The details here are non-existent. I have to make them up myself. And I haven't painted any greens here. Might have to do that. Damn it. I don't remember how I did it. Fuck. That will be a pretty cool sword, I think. Some of our old flesh paint can still be used. Good things with the wet palette. completely forgot. I am looking forward to painting Lord Contagion from the new box set. The big Nurgle Lord with the axe. I think it's gonna be great to paint. I'm probably getting 2 sets of Death Guard, so I'm gonna convert the other one. Gonna keep one original and convert the other, and thinking about giving the other one a sight, not to make him Typhus, but just to make him more badass. Yeah, I kept my hand on the metal again. It's not good. So I have to re-highlight. The oils on my fingers took away the paint. I was stupid enough not to care. Not too much damage was done. So that's good. So we shall do one last highlight on the bronze. Right, so the highlight for the flesh. Okay, it's a lot of details on the sword. Really annoying, actually. But we're almost done. Now we can mix this with this to paint our little hair that's hanging down from the sword. Yeah. Sword. There we go. Nice. Oh. Painting tiny plastic model. Yeah. Greatest thing ever. Brr. I should have painted the handle first. Stupid as I am. A little bit of orange brown. I like this paint a lot. So great. We need to dilute it a little bit. It's quite thick. It has to be from all those years in use. the sword is done. I do need to grab my knife and clean out some excess glue. Let's see if we can stick it to the model. Do some more highlighting. So it's becoming quite a nice case lord. You can see that it has a lot of fucking details. I mean, if we compare this to like, let's see, do we have a miniature? Oh shoot, I shipped that one away. Fuck. I can't find a suitable model for it. Huh. But yeah, you can see that it has a lot of details at least. On it. Yeah, we're getting done with it. It looks great. Can actually need some new glaze. Gonna add some little dots to the glow here. Something you can do when you want to be a little bit more fancy with your glow effects. There we go. So we have the backpack left. And we're gonna change the palette paper before we move on to the backpack. Got some paint on my fingers. Grab some new paper for this. Digital. So backpack. Skin. A lot. Every part of this model is a nightmare. It's got a lot of things on it, a lot of details. Any suggestions, by the way? What colors do you want me to paint the plague bearers in? The flesh. Can paint them any kind of paint really. Their skin change a lot. It's rotten, it's been in the warp, it's been in all kinds of situations. It's sick. You know the drill. So yeah. I don't know why I thought about it, but I remember when I was a kid, I was at this medieval thing, a convention or something. It was like this family thing when people went to this medieval market of some sorts, and there was this guy who was a blacksmith, pretended to be at least, and he had his little metal pieces. And all the kids wanted swords. So, but he only gave them like, you know, little metal pieces with a hammered down edge, so they would be a little bit sharp actually, so you could like scrape off things from the grill or something like that. But there was this one kid who well, if I translate it from Swedish, it would be some kind of well, it's essentially call him a pussy for not making swords. And it was like I was like 8, and the kid was like 5 or 6. And he just went, and he looked at the kid and be like, "Ah, you know what I'm up to," because he cannot make swords for kids. So he made us little metal scrapers instead. And that was bad enough since we hit each other with them on the shields that we could paint for ourselves. I painted a real bad shield back then. I don't know why I thought about it, but it was just funny that a kid called him a pussy for not making him a real sword. Oh. Shit. Kids can be crazy. That was kind of crazy myself when I was one. I don't want the same mistake as spilling paint. I have put up a schedule again on the stream page. So it's essentially the same as it was before. Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Friday may always be a little loose, and it can change to Saturday or Sunday or something like that. It depends what happens on the weekends. And weekends are kind of hard to plan since it is essentially my free time. I am streaming on my free time on Mondays and Tuesdays. But yeah, I'll put up notifications of that. I know some of you was wondering when my schedule was going to be like normal again. Thinking about resurrecting my old color scheme for my new Death Guard and making it better. I shall dig out I got some Forge World Death Guard that I'm going to build and paint, infused with the new ones. These guys are of course going to be a bit smaller since the new ones are bigger, but I think it will work since they can vary in size, since they are corrupted hiccups. Right, let's use the hairdryer. This will never dry. What the fuck was that? Is that my phone? Oh god, does it make sounds now? That is stupid app shit. Sorry for the noise and the not so fun show. Come on, come on. Alright. Light flash. There we go. Just gonna have some patience and this will be done in no time. To go up in my recess of my brush. all these details on these models, they were a great idea when they made them in the computer. But when they got them out in the box, it all sucked. They were terrible. If you guys painted chosen models and this little guy here, if you try and paint those, and then you paint like whatever models you choose from the Games Workshop range, you will notice that these were not designed in the same way as any other of their models. It's kind of hard to explain, but they don't have the same feel to them. There's something different about them. It just makes them weird. I wonder if that goes for the Dark Angels of the box as well. I haven't painted a single one of those. I still have the limited edition Chaplain still on its sprue. I don't think he's very good looking either. The new Chaplain from Games Workshop is much better. Really cool guy. Alright, so that's the first layer of skin. Now we will put down the final highlight. Got a little bit pinkish back here, but that's alright. Right, that's the skin. And now we shall do the bones. And lastly, the bronze skulls. So the bones, we will start with some burnt umber. And this will never dry. I can already tell that. back onto my schedule on my commission work and such. I will try to step up the game on the stream with some new and exciting models. When I get my Patreon going a bit more, it essentially just work as a donation monthly now. I will have the Patreons choose what models I'll be painting as well. So we'll upload a bunch of models, then you guys can choose some of them that I shall paint. Then you can shape the stream to what you would like to see. So that's gotta be good. So that's the bone. Now we'll just do the last part, that is the bronze, and then we're fucking finished. Woohoo! And tomorrow I will get off my butt and edit some videos for YouTube. Been long coming. I'll get questions frequently as well, when and how. So yeah, I should do a couple of speed paints as well. People seem to like those. It's fun for those who doesn't like to watch 5 hours of painting but still want to see the model get finished. Okay. Just gonna wait for this to dry a little. Second coat of paint. Time change. Times change. It's just how it is. To hair dry it a bit. Just the highlight. And that was that. See if we can remove this. Okay. Stick this onto the model. Alright. It's one finished Chaos Lord. Woohoo! Right, so let's take it for a spin. What do you guys think? Did we succeed in making a Nurgle Lord? I really like the sword, right? Yes. Got a base for this guy. So we will stick him on there. So we'll be finished right away. Thank you, Matt Irons. Glad you think so. Let's see here. We'll remove this one. We shall drill a hole. Where's my drill? I need to clean my desk. That's for sure. Where did I put the drill? There it is. What's behind the cafe cap? See here, it's gonna be spoiled and get a new 32mm base. See if this hole is good enough. Sure it is. Okay. Let's get some glue. Let's get some glue. Fuck. Can you imagine that this guy were on a 25mm base once upon a time? And he barely fits on a 32 one. I mean, look at that. Let's see if I have some cool tufts for him. Will this work? Yeah, probably. I want to move it actually. There. Better. Alright, I'll put up some pictures of him on Instagram tomorrow. That's it for today's stream. And I hope you enjoyed the painting of this Chaos Lord. And remember to check out my other social media pages like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, where I upload all the videos. And you can support me on my Patreon, so we can get more streaming time and so on. Make more great content, you know. And yes, more models upcoming. Next one, I have no clue what to do with the next one. We have to do one more before the new starter box, I think. I can show some weathering on vehicles. I could do that, but that's not going to be a very long stream though. We'll see. I cook something together. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy the show. Bye bye.